Welcome, Scorpio, to your Astro Dice reading for April. Hope you guys are doing great out there. Okay, guys, let's get going. I did take a little bit of a hiatus for Easter, so these are out a little late. That's okay. Better late than never. Let's go. Okay, best messages coming out. And for those of you who are new, this is where I take astrology with tarot, make a small horoscope for the month using only one of the 12 houses, and that house is going to represent the reading. So let's do this. Ooh, going straight into the third house, learning something with some Scorpion energy and some Venus. Having that Venetian energy coming out is the part of you that desires beauty, success, indulgence, and valuables. With some Scorpion energy. The energy is intense, masterful, thoughtful, magnetically charming, and also secretive and possessive. You're keeping something to yourself in the third house, or you could feel like somebody's keeping something from you. But, yeah. More than likely somebody's keeping something from you, and you're going to find out because you got the third house, the potential to learn something in your local neighborhood. What are you learning that somebody's keeping secret from you? And the situation is taking place in the beginning of the month, middle of the month, and the end of the month. What are they hiding from you that you're going to find out about? Or are you hiding something so that you can figure out something? Now, it's kind of interesting over here, Scorpio, because it could be you keeping to yourself about something that you're learning because you know they're hiding something. So it could be kind of a double entendre over here of how things are working. Hello, going straight to the beginning of the month. Tell us what's going on. Self-limiting beliefs. Message coming out, 8 of Wands to the Queen of Swords. Could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. Doesn't have to be. You're definitely keeping something to yourself. There's some quick decisions that are being made. And the way that you're moving through them, you're cutting through stuff with your sword. So you're saying, I'm only going to talk about what I feel comfortable about talking about, but I know something, but I'm not going to share it just yet until you let me know exactly what I want to hear. You're opening up to new perspectives, but you know exactly how you want to speak. And you're only going to speak direct communication, nothing from the heart. You're keeping everything to yourself, but you want to show it, but you have this new perspective. Yeah. You know somebody's keeping something from you and you're going to figure it out, but you don't want to let them know just yet that you know something's up. Your logical mind is going crazy. It's like your intuition was already there, and now you're logically thinking about how you're going to use that intuition. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. You're turning the tables. You're turning the tables on this situation. You know that somebody's hiding from you, so you're keeping things to yourself. You're changing the way things are being spoken. It's almost like you don't want to open up about what you know about this situation for some of you, because it could cause an argument because you know something, or it's the way it could be said, right? It could cause an argument. So you don't want to be like a know-it-all type of scenario because you found out something, you're keeping it to yourself. You know they're lying to you about the situation or downplaying the situation. So you're only going to open up as much as you want to change the scenario around with the Wheel of Fortune. And Wheel of Fortune says we're changing this it's kind of like changing on a dime. The mid-month. And the moon there. You're getting a super clarity about what's going on from the past. Something from the past is resurfacing itself, but you're keeping your distance from the situation. You're very careful on how you're walking around this. It's almost like you're walking on eggshells because you do know what you know. The third house says you've learned something and you know you've learned something, but you don't know how to approach it just yet without making a calamity. So your intuition is sparked. I figured by the new moon, you're like definitely got this, right? You got this. You're like the new moon's coming, and I've got this. This is where everything starts opening up. You're really seeing it the way you really know. So now you're like sitting in this knowing, but there is this fear and anxiety that if I let them know exactly what I know about the situation, it is definitely going to cause an argument because they're trying to withhold this information from me. But looking back into the past, you know that there was something there that wasn't spoken of or was lied about. So it's approaching this gently. Catty cornering this on a gentle note. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You're letting them believe that you're still in the dark about the situation, not really opening up to this situation. You know that something went awry. You know that they were lying to you, and you're not going to allow your emotions to be the best of you anymore when it comes to this situation. You know way too much. You've learned what you need to learn about this. Something has opened up. A whole can of worms over here, but you're still not approaching this. You're keeping it to yourself right now until you have the best way of saying something. It has to be said the right way, and you know it, Scorpio, because otherwise it's going to cause a fight. Yes, the devil coming out. You could know that somebody is drinking, doing drugs, doing something tempting, could be seductive. Something is going on when it has to do with some kind of attachment or some kind of toxicity. You could even know that this person is doing drugs. You knew that they were doing drugs. They're not supposed to be doing drugs. They told you they weren't drinking anymore, and you know that they're drinking again. But you're not letting them know that you know because you don't want to get in a fight, because you want to be kind of sneaky with this. But yeah, they do feel like they're getting away with something by you not saying anything. But then it's almost like you open up and you understand how to approach this by the end of the month as you're coming in as the Knight of Swords with your truth. Catching them in. It's almost like you catch them. You didn't even have to really come in with your truth. It's almost like you caught them in the action. That's crazy. You catch them sneaking away. You catch them. So if they're not supposed to be drinking because of their health or because of the pills they take, or they're just not supposed to be drinking, period, whatever they're doing, you're catching them in the act. Could be a family member. You're catching them in the act for sure. And then you are going to step in, no matter what, you're going to step in with your knowledge of the Queen of Swords and what you already know. It's not going to go over as well as you were hoping and anticipating it would go over. You wanted it smooth, but because you catch them in the act, it's a little overwhelming. And they do try to play it off with you and try to move away from the situation. So it's like kind of like an argument, but I'm also moving away, right, from the argument. So we're going to fight and then I'm going to hide. So, yeah. They're trying to plant seeds of lying and getting away with something, but you know better than that. Yeah, you know better than that. You know it's not going to go over well. There's the fighting again, the arguing again, and then them kind of like taking off, making a standstill, kind of fence setting on the situation, but also hiding out. And then it's almost like it comes back and replays itself again with the Page of Swords. Once again, it's the Page of Swords again. So, and then it's saying, well, I'm resisting this transition. It's almost like they're resisting trying to tell you exactly what you already know, what you caught them doing. How can you lie to me and tell me? But I think what it is, it's more like, well, it was my first time, that type of scenario. Sounds very almost like a teenager who's been drinking on the weekends, and then finally gets caught, and they're like, this is my first time, and you're like, no, it's not. You know what I mean? I've known for a while, type of scenario. But they are definitely trying to play it out, and they are trying to hide out from you. And like I said, it could be some kind of addiction of drinking or something. It could even be cheating. Yeah, something that, yeah, could be definitely, but it's definitely something that you've been watching for a while that really comes to truth. So you're definitely going to find out about this. And, even if you see a new perspective and, you weren't, you're like so clear, but you're not still like 100, the truth now, right? It's kind of one of those things where it's like, I know, but I haven't seen it, but I just know. And then all of a sudden, you're right. It's going to give you that, damn it, I knew it. I just knew it, kind of like a mom instinct kind of thing going off. For some of you, it could be cheating. It could be a seductress, a seductor in the situation who's trying to sexually tempt your partner. I do see that. Because of the Four of Wands, getting into your relationship, trying to tempt your person away into cheating or something of that nature. Okay. And I do have relationship in the reverse over here as well. Okay. Yeah. No matter what, you're going to see what's going to happen, and you're going to be in that I knew it mode. And even if you did say something to them before, it's going to be that I caught you, I told you, I knew. I didn't say anything, but I told you you were getting over your head, something like this. Okay, guys, until next time, peace and love. Bye bye.